What's up? Hope you guys are here. I think I had 3 viewers last time. Somehow, I've got to get past this block and this ban. It's impossible because they know my IP address, they know my phone. So any channel I open up, doesn't matter if it's new one, old one, as long as I'm doing it from this phone and even from Tina's phone. And here I am again talking dumb because it is an IP address. It's facial and vocal recognition. Anywhere I'm recognized, they silence me. They shut me down so I can't speak. Here's the difference between me and everybody else in the world. I am a free. I think you have the right to say. I think you should have the right to say what you want to say. You should have the right to say anything, no matter what it is. And the Republicans, Mike Johnson, who is I'd say there's probably kitty pictures of him. So he is corrupted. I knew as soon as when they announced he was going to be the speaker, I was like, well, he's a Christian guy. Maybe he'll get in there. And then when it was no problem at all, and the Democrats voted him straight in and everything was fine, I was like, oh, God, we're screwed. They're voting for an anti-Semitism bill. Anytime you police speech, when you're out of power, the other people in power will use that legislation against you. That's why the founders didn't want any speech regulated, because they knew power corrupts. All the time. No questions asked, power always corrupts. What I don't understand is, I do understand it. These people like Bill Gates never created a thing. Okay? Never created a thing. Let me text her real quick. Ooh, that's a nice rig. Oh, that's a big, nice rig. Yeah. Power corrupts. So people like Bill Gates who never create... Bill Gates didn't create anything. He came in and stole everything. He stole it. You think he was sitting there welding circuits together? No, he wasn't. He came in and took it. What people don't understand about rich people is once you've attained wealth beyond our imagination, once you've attained that wealth, the thrill of attaining more wealth is over. There's no more thrilling. So then it becomes power. I want to control a nation. Wait, I want to control the United Nations. Wait, I want to control the world. It's literally superhero comic book craziness that we're dealing with right now in America and around the world. The world's deep. What's up, border town Detroit? My boy Gore. Where you been at, man? You don't call me no more? You don't love me no more? So people like Bill Gates, he wants you dead. He hates you. He hates that you breathe. These people talk about wanting to save the planet. They want to kill you so they can take the planet. They have to make up all this fear. Global warming, climate change, disease, famine. Here's an issue I'm having. And I guess I just gotta stop. I keep trying to warn my children, my daughters, about what's coming. And my oldest daughter, she's the one with the little baby boy. I'm like, honey, and I send her this stuff. Hey, this invasion's meant to destroy America. Death's coming to America. God's judgment on America. She's like, I'm going to be positive, and I'm going to teach my son the good things in life, how everything's going to be okay. And I'm like, why would you lie to your child? I'm going to keep him away from bad influences. I said, speaking the truth is not bad influences. Moving to UP, been busy, probably be back there in the I-40 runs no winter. Good, man. I don't know where UP is. Upper Peninsula, is that what you're saying? So, I can't get her to understand. Why are people so blind? Why are people so blind? I mean, not just my daughters, but everybody. I'm literally like Chicken Little. The sky's falling, the sky's falling, the sky's falling. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. I'm going to get a new cell phone. Look at the new movie. I don't want it to be the end of the world. I want my kids to grow up like I did in the 80s. Now, my family life sucked. You can't listen. You have to feel. That's the thing, Big Red. We're all going to feel. But when I grew up, I literally rode my bicycle, kindergarten, rode my bicycle back and forth to school a mile in the morning and rode home in the afternoon. Now, if I was being sneaky, I'd stop by Captain D's and get water because Oklahoma, it's 120 degrees. But that was the funnest time of my life, was riding my bicycle. Independence, me riding my bike back and forth to school. And back then, like now, the crunch was harder in the early 80s financially. My dad went to college during the day, Bible college, and my mom went to work during the day, and then they'd switch. One would go during the day, one would go during the night, then they'd switch back and forth to the. So money was tight. My mom had to work at a butcher shop at Safeway just to bring food home. My grandpa drove from North Carolina all the way to Oklahoma 2 or 3 times a year to bring us canned food. People ask, why don't you eat green beans? Because I had to eat green beans. My bedroom, and this is the neglect from my parents, of course, but we always got a 2-bedroom apartment, and my bedroom was back porch. The screened-in back porch. They put plastic up and put me a bed in there. That was it. That was my bed. I had no choice. We were poor. When it was time to go to school, we went to Pick and Pay. We went to Pick and Pay in July, August. We went to Pick and Pay. Buy 2 pair, we'll get 1 free. We were poor. Many nights that I went to bed hungry. And nobody will ever believe that, but that's the truth. And I don't know what else to say about that, besides kids nowadays have no clue about poverty. Kids nowadays have no idea what it's like to go hungry. My dad would beat my ass if I made more than 1 sandwich in the afternoon. Beat my ass. Don't eat all the food in the house. Blah, 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 blah. People in this country can't afford food. Can't. God, this thing hurts me so bad. This thing hurts me so bad. That cortisone shot don't do crap. It don't help at all. More and more things are getting tight. Tighter and tighter, the noose. And that's the thing. When people go to Washington, a lot of them go because they're already rich, so they got the money to run. Because if you don't have money in politics, you don't make it into politics. But once they get there, they're making now $150,000, $160,000, $170,000 a year, and money don't mean nothing. And then the deals start coming in, the side jobs, all the hicks and the hacks, and all the money sliding in their palms. It gets back to the the interview that Bill Maher had with Patrick Bet-David. And I've got a couple of questions about Patrick Bet-David. The interview was like about being rich and having money, and the economy's doing just fine. And Patrick Bet-David looked at Bill and said, well, you know what? We're going to be fine no matter what. We're multi-millionaires. I mean, how many times has Bill Maher went to the grocery store and bought food? Seriously. Do you really think you're going to see Bill Maher at the store filling up his Ford F-250? Do you think he's going to do that? You think he fills up his gas tank? Do you think they go, I'm going to go to the store real quick, get a loaf of bread and a spill? No, they don't. And if they did, it wouldn't mean anything. When I first got my business up off the ground and rolling, I had money I'd never known before. So buying this and buying that didn't mean anything anymore. So once you get to that level where you can afford anything you own and nothing else matters, well, you start forgetting about the people who work and strive every day just trying to survive. And when I go talk to the DA about this ticket, I'm going to tell her, I said, man, these troopers ain't out here trying to keep us safe. They're policing for profit. They're, and I have no thought in my mind that it's going to make a difference. Now, the DA that was in there, she seemed to have a conscience. I saw her herself go up to people who didn't have attorneys and say, I'm going to drop this down the improper equipment to help you. And when I saw that in her, I was like, oh, wow, she hasn't been corrupted yet. Now, when she read my ticket, it says I cussed the cop and threw up my middle fingers. She put that boulder right back up under her, and she's ready to prosecute. When she finds out that he lied, maybe it'll change, I don't know. But these people in charge have no idea about money. It's like $25 fills up my little Range Rover. This thing's got like a 12-gallon tank. But I get about, when I stretch it, I get about 190, 200 miles off a tank of gas. That ain't much. Right now it says 180. So I've got to remember to stop at that gas station all the way back down. Got a brand new sheet store, and the brand new sheets is 50 cents cheaper on gas than anywhere. How can they be 50 cents cheaper? That just tells you it's all rigged. All the prices are rigged. I was watching a thing on one of the TikTok things a while back. I don't watch TikTok, just something that was shared to Facebook. But people in Saudi Arabia, where gas comes from, we have more gas reserve, more fuel. We have more natural resources than Saudi Arabia, if you don't know that. We do. Because they started pumping long before us. They said they paid $27 a gallon for gas. What's up, Carol? Why don't we get to pay 27 cents a gallon for gas? Why don't we get that cheap gas? Because the system's rigged. Sorry, I'm rambling. I'm just going all over the place. Patrick Bet-David. I was watching, oh my gosh. Gorf, you'll have to help me. Jason, the black guy Jason, works for the Blaze. His name was right on the tip of my tongue. But he said Patrick Bet-David's a plant. And it makes sense because Patrick Bet-David, he's Iranian, supposedly a Christian. But he became a multi-millionaire by doing high-level marketing. In other words, it's a pyramid scheme. He's on top, and he got everybody else to multi-level marketing is what they call it. So it's a pyramid scheme. He scammed millions of dollars off people, and he got into insurance and scammed more people. But he always goes right up to the line of defending conservative Christian values, but won't step over it. It's like, I've got my Superman suit on, but I left the nuts out. Why don't you have the balls to do what you're talking about? I can see it's very easy to get in that mentality of class warfare, I would have been just fine. I would have created wealth for all my daughters. All my children would have been able to enjoy my wealth if it weren't for this system tearing apart everything I built, destroying everything, and putting me where I am now. I can't complain because God says not to. Florida, we have our own gas reserves in the Gulf of Mexico. I can't remember ever running out of gas. Well, there you go. I'm here. I was enjoying watching the houseboat project last year. More to come. Are you guys still here? Let me know you're still here. That's my transmission, man. Good news on my trans. It's not fried. Of course, I knew it wasn't fried. I had a truck with my trans a couple years ago where the top plate, it's got two bushings that hold the shifter down inside. Bushings kept backing out, and you would lose the gear in the gear. Now, I understand when mechanics look at things, they always assume the worst of the driver. But you guys have been with me in my Bronco plenty of times. I don't abuse my equipment. I do not shift hard and fast. I do not do burnouts, spin tires. Like even if I'm dragging something, I put it in four-wheel drive low first. I don't use my vehicles because I can't afford to fix them. Anyway, houseboat project. That breaks my heart that I did all that work for nothing. Started that project, I checked with every person in charge to ensure I could live on the lake. And everybody said, yes, you can. And then they passed the law saying, oh, you have to have a 30-year lease. And if you want to live on the lake, it's considered a floating cabin. And a floating cabin's got stricter regulations to building a house. So it's not land to build a house because I don't have the money to pay somebody to build a house. And I don't have the money for a permit to even start any of that. That's the whole point in America. They have priced us out. They have priced us out of the market of being homeowners. It's like my daughter, she bought that house. The house she got was like $60,000. The previous owner bought it. It's a flipper house. He paid $60,000 for it. Does all this. He puts lipstick on a pig and then sells it to her for $190,000. I cannot imagine being 22 years old with $190,000 debt over my head. I went yesterday and I got an app on my phone that tells me about all the free stuff. So I went and picked up another swimming pool cover. Is anybody in here? If you're here, let me know. I went and picked up a swimming pool cover from a guy. And I used to mow a bunch of yards in that neighborhood. And I was talking, he was like, yeah, I got a camper at Lake Lure. Me and my wife like to visit there. He said, but I would retire. He said, but I can't. He said, now they got my house appraised at $420,000. Now, people up north, if you don't know about what's going on down south, people move from up north down south because houses are so reasonable here. Let me rephrase that. Houses were so reasonable here. They're not anymore. This guy's house doubled in tax value simply because of inflation. So, the only people now that can afford to buy houses, you want to guess who it is? Illegal aliens. How? They come here, they get government subsidies, the government pays for their children, pays for their groceries, pays for their housing, as long as they're not married, and then they got 10 people in that one house collecting all the government benefits. Then they go pay cash for a place. Guess what? My neighbors, that next door neighbors, the 20 people that live there, they all just magically moved out in one night. Just go. Well, that's not suspicious at all, is it? Not suspicious. The biggest threat to our government is an autonomous person. I'd say an autonomous prison, too. There's no freedom left in America. None. It's over. I get stuck on these YouTube shorts and it drives me crazy. I can't. I try to get away from it. These videos of game wardens just walking up to people and harassing people trying to feed themselves. Here's a poor guy sitting on a bank with a small fire going, sitting on a freaking bucket with a $10 Walmart pole trying to catch a fish. And a game warden's there, I need to see your license. How much you got in that bucket? How many fish you got? What kind of fish is that? Where'd you get your license at? Did you get this Walmart? What'd you do? Let me see the length of your pole. What kind of string? I mean, just interrogating the man on the side of a ditch. You think you're free, you're not. It's just like hunting permits in North Carolina went up to $90 now for a hunting permit. And that's just the regular bottom level. That ain't talking about the bear tags, the trout tags, any of that stuff. That's just what they call a sportsman license. It's heartbreaking. And nobody cares. Why won't anybody stand up? I mean, I get it. People are scared. The government is locking up people for memes. There's a guy did first a Democrat did it. She posted online, "Hey, Donald Trump supporters, you can log on to this page right here and vote online, and that'll take care of your vote." Oh, that's a big joke. But a white Donald Trump supporter did the same thing, and he's in jail for 6 years now. In jail for 6 years. I mean, if anybody can look at this Donald Trump crap and say that is reasonable to you, you're the problem. You're the problem. It's just like all these people that support law enforcement. They're the problem. Because once people stop cheering for the caging, the mutilation, and the murder of people by law enforcement over a sticker or a headlight, once you realize how inhumane that is, then you realize that America has one of the most vicious, violent police forces in the entire world. I talked to a fire chief. Well, he was I think he said a captain, fire captain, the other day. I sold him a big old tank I had. One of those big propane tanks. He's going to use it for demonstration. It's going to cut off here in a minute, as it always does. But I was talking to him about the police state, and he didn't see it. I said, "You don't see it? How corrupt law enforcement is?" Because I got in his ass about it. I said, "Dude, they're just there to steal money." I said, law enforcement in North Carolina this year got a $13,000 raise. Before that, he got another couple $1,000 raise. So in 1 year, he got like $15,000 worth of raises in 1 year. That's more than most people make in an entire year. The raise is. So what are we saying? America pays their mercenaries well. It's despicable. These government slobs that work in city hall buildings, just making bank, doing nothing but processing a little money here and accepting a little money there, writing a little permission slip for somebody to feed themselves. The great fall is coming. I just don't know how to stop the Bible says God doesn't give a spirit of fear, but a power of love and a sound mind. I just don't know how to turn off my fear for my children. I can't get them to listen. The sky's falling, and nobody's listening. I don't know what to do. I guess I'm not supposed to know. I wish I had another project like the boathouse. I wish I just could have put it on the water. I mean, it was done. I had every single piece for it. Still have everything to put it together. Still have it all. I mean, I would like to use my boat, but it's full of insulation. You ain't got money, can't do nothing. I'm scared to tear my boat out because I don't know how much my engines have been vandalized. This ain't the world we grew up in. What's the final count of people in here? Because I got to park and get busy doing stuff. Anyway, see you guys later.